everyone, welcome to the September energy update. I'm Rachael Gargan. I am the owner of Rachel's Butterfly Effect, and I am an intuitive energy healer as well as a channel. So today we're going to be talking all about the energy of September and what we can expect as we move through this next month. So if you haven't been here before to check out one of my energy updates, welcome. I'm super excited to have you here, and you can absolutely follow me on Instagram. This is where I actually post daily updates and daily Ascension energy updates. So this is going to be this month's energy update. So really some of the messages that have been coming in for the September energy is things are starting to accelerate. We're starting to move through our ascension a lot faster. As we move through the end of this year, we're going to be receiving even more and more and more light codes and high vibrational energy that's really going to be shifting us and moving us through our awakening, our ascension, and our evolution and consciousness a lot faster. So this is what you can kind of see coming in. And as we move into September, this is like the beginning of that and kind of the preparation stage before we move into October and November, where we're really going to see this acceleration begin to pick up. So I'm beginning to see that a lot of us are actually going to be coming to a crossroads where we, within our physical life, are beginning to see that we have option A or option B, or path 1, path 2. And we're going to be sitting within a place where we are beginning to make a physical decision and a physical action on which way we would like our life to go. And some of these decisions and some of the things that are going to be coming up are very uncomfortable for a lot of us. So we can feel a little bit of unease and uncomfortability as we move through the next really month to 3 months of this year. A lot of this like crossroads feeling is also decision and choices are coming up. So it's like we have the choice to step into a new version of ourselves, and we have the choice to stay where we are. So we really are starting to kind of weigh our decisions as we move forward as to how we're showing up in our actual reality. So I'm really seeing this as like a key theme that's going to be coming up kind of over and over and over again. And with that, I'm also hearing the words like clean house. So we're starting to actually clean up our house, which is not just our physical space in our house. We're cleaning up our house. We're cleaning up our life. We're cleaning up our reality, our relationships, our finances, all of these different things. A lot of this is going to be done for us. So a lot of the time we think like, well, I need to go do this and clean up this. But I'm also hearing that this acceleration that we're starting to step into, it's like life is going to start doing it for you, and it's going to start pushing you to do it. So it's almost like we're coming to a point where we don't really, I don't want to say not have a choice in it, because we always have free will, but it's like we're really being nudged in a certain direction, and that this theme or this thing that you're seeing come up in your life is going to continually come up over and over and over and over again till we actually are able to sit with it, feel it, and integrate whatever that theme is that's coming up. So you may be experiencing this in your relationship. You may be experiencing this with just like your physical reality, whether it's your housing, your finances. You could be all the labels that we put on each other or put on ourselves. So what labels have been placed on you, or what labels do you put on yourself? Like, I'm a person who has anxiety. I'm a person who is not good at this. I'm a person, and starting to break down a lot of these labels that have been placed on us or that we've placed on ourselves. So a lot of the time when we have the energy of an emotion, we grab that energy, we hold on to it, we created a story around why we are feeling this energy, and then we hold it within our being. And when we do this, this can actually create a lot of blocks within our energetic system, because we're actually holding on to an energy, where when we can release the story behind what it is that we're experiencing, behind what it is what we're feeling, and we can actually feel the emotion of that feeling, then we're able to actually allow this to pass through us. And this is an uncomfortable thing for a lot of us to do, because a lot of the energies and emotions that are coming in are things like unease, anxiety, fear, control, right? We're starting to really break down a lot of these denser energies, and the best way to break them down is to really actually feel them integrate them and allow them to move through you. When we attach a story to something, so even like fear is coming up right now as I'm talking, that a lot of us have, there's a lot of collective fear that is being moved in our direction. So whether it is that you're watching the news, or whether it is that you're having a conversation with somebody, or a lot of people are picking up on this, and a lot of people are talking about a lot of the things that are unfolding within the collective narrative right now. And some of that is truly horrible, and some of it is the anticipation that something horrible could happen. And there's a difference between the two. So we want to be mindful of, like, is this something that really is happening? And what's coming up with that? Is it grief that's also coming up within this fear, and we need to allow ourselves to feel it and integrate it? Or is this a story that we've attached of a potential that could happen that is triggering the emotion of fear within us? So we really want to make sure that we're being very mindful of what it is that we are feeling, so we can allow these feelings to move through us instead of holding on to them. Because especially when it comes with the anticipation of an event or something that could happen, then we grab a hold of this emotion, we bring it into our being, we create a story to allow us to hold on to this energy, and then we create from this place where, when we are able to actually say, well, I have a fear of this anticipation of this event, and then you allow it to actually come into your being and you sit with it, right, without attaching anything to it, and you begin to allow it to wash through you. So I'm seeing it like a wave, and this is an exercise that's coming up that you can do as you go through September, is actually just closing your eyes. And when you have this like emotion, this overwhelming emotion come over you, actually watching it as like it's a wave that's hitting you and washing all the way down through your body and out to your feet. And you can allow waves and waves, there could be more than one wave of this emotion, and you're just sitting with it and allowing it to wash through you, and noticing what's coming up as you're doing this exercise. What's the story that's attached to it? Where did this story come from? Did it come from someone else? Did it come from you? Right? And allowing these things to release those stories, and allow the water to even wash the stories away with the emotion that is being moved through your body. And we have this emotion that we're holding on to, and we're storing it in a part of our body, and we're holding on to it, we're talking about the story, and we're going over the story inside of our head. This becomes a block to your own expansion and to this beautiful energy that we have available to us. So we really want to allow ourselves to release that, so that we can actually move it down and continue to expand outward. And this is a lot of what I'm seeing as we move into the next phase of this year, is that there is going to be an acceleration between these two energies, whether it's the trust, the expansion, the surrender, as well as the fear, the manipulation, and the control. So we're really moving through this huge separation right now, or you can even call it, light and dark, or low energy and high energy. And a lot of the time we like to attach to that low energy and talk out all of these different stories. So we're beginning to actually let this go, where we need to drop the stories and allow ourselves to just actually be, not even attaching story to the high energy either, just coming into a place of more neutrality and allowing more flow into your life. So this is coming up with that crossroads as well. So a lot of us have all of these different stories that are holding us within the energy that we are creating our reality into. And there could be fear in stepping into something new, right? And then there's a story attached to that fear. Well, if I do that, how is this gonna look? And how is that gonna look? And all of these different things. So we need to begin to actually let go and to actually just feel the pureness of this energy. So when fear is triggered within us, it's actually very hard for us to use our discernment, because we can't discern between different energies and different realities or different choices that we have, because we have this huge block that we're holding on to protect ourselves. So it's not that fear is bad, because a lot of the time fear comes from a place of self-preservation, a place of wanting to protect yourself. So we really want to be mindful of this, because maybe our fear is actually based in a story that is not actually in reality, or is holding us back from what it is that we truly desire. So this is coming up a lot as we move through the energy of September, and then also just kind of cleaning house, cleaning and clearing. So it's like this clean and clear energy where we're beginning to crystallize our own energy. So I'm really seeing right now, they're showing me a visual of your being, and I can see all of these like densities within your energy field, right? Dark areas or heavy areas or whole areas, right? And I'm starting to actually see that as we move through September, everything begins to light up from within. So this is an extremely, extremely important part, is that we have to really be diving within and not necessarily picking up on the stories that are within our external, and actually diving in and learning about the stories that are in your internal, and then working from that place outward versus working from outward inward. So there's going to be this huge shift where a lot of us are coming to a point where we're actually starting to move more inward and creating from inside out versus from outside in. And this is going to shift us in huge, huge ways. So I'm seeing a lot of potentials as we move through the next 3 months for these huge quantum leaps. And because there also is this acceleration in energy, we have the ability to do like radical healing, to have, you know, these radical revelations that just come over us, or big aha moments that can really, really shift us very quickly into a new energy. So this is happening very, very quickly. And as we move through this time, start to try new things. So this can look a million different ways, whether it's that you're trying out a new healing modality, or that you're trying out just a new routine, that we need to really shift some of even those small things in our life. And that is going to also help us really up level, that those small changes can make really big ripples. So it really is like the butterfly effect, that those small things can make these huge ripples within our life that can really begin to shift things on a multi-dimensional level. So you have the ability to really be able to shift onto a new timeline very quickly, and to move yourself into a higher reality or a different experience than the experience that you're experiencing right now. And then you can also too, you know, do those, I'm hearing Reiki sessions to help you actually move and to clear some of this density within your system, can make a huge difference. Or whether it's your meditation practice or breath work practice, or it could even just be shifting that every single day you turn on music and you dance for 5 minutes in the morning before you start your day. This can also help you move the energy within your being. So they're saying try new things, try to be more flexible, try to, you know, just try out this, see how it feels, try out that, see how it feels, and find your way as you move through and you begin to navigate your own personal awakening journey, because it really is a very personal journey. We all have our human experience, we all have density, we all have had experiences or trauma, and it's so individual to each of us. So how we navigate this time and how we navigate our healing journey, you know, is very, very individual. So you have to find your own way as you go through that. And one of the best ways to do that is to actually, again, go inward and ask yourself, what does my healing journey look like? What do I need? What does my being desire? How do I want this to look? How do I want this to feel? And as you begin to answer these questions, you're going to find your own path to your own divine source energy. And this is something as well that I'm seeing that so many of us are going to be really coming back to this deep remembrance of our divine source connection. And we're going to begin to actually bring this energy down and embody it within our life. And how that looks, again, is very individual. So we have to really be looking within to find, what feels good to you, and to follow that joy, follow that fire that's inside of you, because you hold all of these answers to what your journey is. So we need to really be moving more inward and finding that inner trust and that inner intuition that we have. And I'm also hearing as well, working with your inner intuition, your guides, your higher self, because you have so much power within you. So we're really starting to see a transition where a lot of us are stepping into our power, our divine power, our source power, our spiritual power. And this is really coming up a lot as we move through September, October, November energy, that there is going to be a lot of power behind the energy that is coming in and that we have access to. So the more we can move inward and connect to our own personal power, the better. And this is part of the reason why going to somebody and asking them certain questions can actually lead you off, because you're giving your power away. You hold all of your own answers within you. You hold all of your own history, all of your own records within you. So the more that you can dive inward and experience it from an inward place, the more you're going to be able to integrate this energy, the more you're going to be able to make these quantum leaps and shifts within your own being. Where when it's coming from an external place first, then we still have to go inward and do the internal work, right? In order to be able to shift and align. More often when it comes from an inward place, we instantly shift and align to what that experience was for us. So really finding, different ways that you can go inward and that you can play and that you can move your body and that you can express yourself is a really beautiful thing as we continue to move through this energy. So September is going to be a really, really great month for preparation. So I've really been hearing the words preparation, where it's like we're going to be doing a lot of that clearing of our own system, shifting things within our physical reality, cleaning up any of those entanglements and stories and last kind of final pieces of this new version of ourselves that we're stepping into. Anything that's holding us back from stepping into that, we need to really focus on that over as we move through this month of September. And then this is actually preparing us for huge activations that are going to be coming collectively and individually as we move into October and November. So I'm really seeing this October, November energy as a huge activation and huge quantum leaps that we have the ability to be able to take. And these activations are going to realistically be happening no matter what. So I'm really seeing that August was obviously a huge activation. I think a lot of us experience this activation. And then right now, as we're coming into the very end of August, beginning of September, things are kind of starting to slow down a little bit. And as we move through September, September is going to be a lot of like reworking, recoding, cleaning up type of an energy so that we are actually prepared, as well as a resting and a caring and a nurturing energy, so that we are prepared to actually move into the final stages of this year, which is the October, November specifically, as well as a little bit in December, to really move through that next stage of those upgrades that are going to be happening. So there's going to be huge upgrades that are happening throughout the end of this year, and that's really where we want to shift now and to clean up now, so that when we move through that activation stage, we can do so with a lot more ease and a lot more grace as we move through that time. Where if we actually don't do the work to clean up our life now, those activations are going to happen anyways. It's going to be a little bit more jarring to our system, to our body, and to our reality as well. So in order to really have that move a little bit smoother, so that you can kind of ride this like roller coaster up and down, you may be shaken a little bit as you go through that. It's not going to be like you're jumping off of a cliff, right? So this is the energy that I'm kind of seeing as we move through September, is that it's a lot of that preparation work, a little bit of rest, some reworking, some cleaning house, and reorganizing. Recoding is also coming up as well, that we're recoding our own internal world. So recoding our belief systems, recoding our timelines, recoding the stories as well that we tell ourselves. So we're recoding, we're shifting, we're realigning everything, so that when we come into some of those bigger energies that are going to be coming, then we're going to be able to move through that with a lot more awareness, a lot more consciousness, a lot more ease and grace as we move through that stage. So, you know, when we go through September, if we're not actually using that exploring energy, that playful energy, that cleaning energy, where, you know, they want us to really have fun with it, to use our creativity, to explore, to try new things, and to reorganize some of the old things. So it's almost like we're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So that's a great place to even start. Sitting within your being and seeing, like, where do you feel really, really comfortable within your life right now? And then kind of stepping even one foot over, so you're in that uncomfortable phase, but it's not too much and it's not too little, but you're still moving forward, and you're playing in that energy a little bit and having fun with it as you know, continue to expand. This is going to help make some of these huge activations that are coming a little bit easier on your system, because we're all going to be pushed out of our comfort zone as we move through the end of this year. So the more that you can kind of start to step into that and take those baby steps, you know, as you move through this kind of preparation energy of September, the easier it's going to be when you get that next nudge into the uncomfortability, because you've already taken a few steps there already. So this is definitely something that September is bringing up, is that we really want to start to get playful and step out of our comfort zone a little bit, and to play with things and try new things and all of this. And I can feel this, like, even as I'm talking, I'm like, I can feel this like moving, flowy type, clean and clear. I keep hearing clean and clear. So it's like, you know, we want to kind of flow through and clean and clear and mold and meld and shift and be flexible, you know, as we move through this month. And that's going to also help us as we move through that final stage of this year. And some of those upgrades that I'm seeing are going to be huge. So we're going to have another mass awakening that's going to happen. So a lot of, you know, those people who haven't really stepped into their awakening journey, there's going to be a wave of new people stepping in to that. And then I'm also seeing that as well for the people who most likely are on this call or on this video and watching, that there's going to be a huge activation of remembrance for a lot of us, where we really start to embody that divine power. We really start to embody our divine purpose. And we also, as well, some like of our gifts are going to start to come on, some of our remembrance is going to come on. So there's going to be this huge activation. I'm really seeing it through the chakra system as well, that we're going to be having a huge activation of those higher chakras, and the channel between all of our lower chakras is really starting to light up and to come back online. So we're really activating that Merkaba energy, that light body energy, that you know, source energy within us is starting to come back online. The heart is starting to really open for a lot of us, and this is going to be huge as we move into the ending part of this year. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as we continue this process. And then as we move through September, it's really that preparation stage for that energy that's going to be coming in. So just making sure that we're spending a lot of time, you know, with ourselves. We're really tuning into ourselves. We're trying new things. We're getting creative. We're pushing ourselves slightly out of our comfort zone and just seeing how it feels, like testing the waters is what I'm hearing. You know, just like dip your toe in, test your water, come back, tune into your inner world, see how it feels within your inner world, and test it again, you know. And that's the energy that I'm seeing for September. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. So you can please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to being back again next month with another energy update. And I'm sending you guys so much love and light.